So it's been a rough couple years for Idubbbz as he's been losing his original fan base that loved him for his edgy content, but more specifically his, Idubbbz was like the cool guy, he was the jokes guy, he was all down with it, right? But recently, Idubbbz has been a little bit too sensitive for his old audience's liking, and they've turned on him completely. And we've seen this happen to many YouTubers before, but there's this viral clip that went out on Twitter, and we can just watch and give our commentary. Why not?
I did not like the interactions that I had with fans. There were quite a few human beings that I interacted with that just sucked because I attracted a lot of people who sucked. Some people were very much like antisocial, weird, basement dwellers. The one time a month that they come out of their cave and they run into me, their favorite YouTuber.
And what would they say? What would they do?
Things that I am certainly not going to repeat. I'm talking bad words.
Words that we only say by describing the first letter?
Yeah, exactly. Man, what a powerful way of putting it.
Okay, so you can see why, if you're an old fan of Idubbbz, why they might not be down with that. Because he's just chastising his old fans and calling them weird, gross, basement dwellers, racist. So obviously his old fans are going to watch that clip and be like, hey man, fuck you. You used to be cool, you know?
Well, I mean, Idubbbz was literally the guy who was saying those words every video constantly when it was cool to say it.
Right.
And the moment that it became no longer mainstream or when you get in trouble for saying it, he's decided to stop and say, well, actually, everyone who liked that kind of content, who was a fan of me when I was the same way, they all suck. By the way, Idubbbz was 27 years old when he was making those videos. So it's not like this is some kid where he was like 16. He's like, I've grown, I've changed. You're a full grown man. Like, this is not something where you've had some great enlightening as an adult, and as the years have gone on, you're retarded.
It is rough because it's like, yeah, you can change your content and even adapt your personality or change or whatever. Sure, I guess. But you have to acknowledge that, first of all, your old fan's going to leave. And second of all, if you directly shit on them, they're not going to take that well.
And you're a loser.
Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of old news. Idubbbz has been getting into a lot of trouble on Twitter because, people keep making jokes or whatever, and Idubbbz and Anissa especially just don't take it well. And we're going to get into the whole Critter Clash situation as well. But before we get into that, there's this viral meme I saw. This is not true. I don't think.
No, it's not true.
It's not true. But some random Twitter account tweeted as a joke that Idubbbz got a vasectomy and that his wife made him a cake to celebrate.
Yeah, they show this great picture where he's smiling and all happy.
Here's another person tweeting, he's the walking human embodiment of a kick me sign taped to someone's back. Just shitting on him, right? But Anissa, Idubbbz's wife, responds by saying, believing random Twitter posts as fact is a crazy personality trait to have. Like, how can anyone look at this post and be like, yeah, seems legit?
I mean,
oh, Anissa, Idubbbz, Ian, you are now the butt of the joke.
Yeah,
you're outside of the loop now.
Yeah, and also she's shocked that people could look at this and think it's legit. I mean, I would not be surprised if it was legit. Given how Idubbbz acts, I mean, if he got his nuts snipped off, I would not even bat an eye.
Right, right. And I mean, I tweeted, I was like, the only thing I said was, this is old news. This happened years ago. The vasectomy happened years ago. So there's this guy, FroggyFresh, who's a part of the Critter Clash. And like we mentioned before, he's on the card officially and is going to be fighting ChrisRayGun. Very popular, former skeptic, YouTuber, comedian. ChrisRayGun fighting FroggyFresh. And if you don't know who FroggyFresh is, he's a rapper, a bit of a YouTube. I'll be honest, I don't really know his background.
Yeah.
But from looking into his channel or whatever, I think he's a little bit beyond YouTube. Like, he's more of a rapper, celebrity type from years ago or something. But he's a part of this card and he's fighting ChrisRayGun. And, we have been brutal to Idubbbz so far in this video, but I will say Critter Clash I actually attended last year, and it was a very well-run event. It was very enjoyable to watch. I will give them props for that. It was, I literally went to the event as a joke, expecting it to be a shit show, but it was actually pretty well run. I will say that. Not that I don't have some criticisms of it that we'll get into later, but they're doing the Critter Clash too. And as a way of promoting the fight between, FroggyFresh and ChrisRayGun, FroggyFresh made this video that got him into quite a bit of trouble with Idubbbz's own family.
There seems to be substantial evidence that ChrisRayGun is now on Adderall.
Holy shit.
Really, young man.
By the way, his evidence is that Chris liked a tweet saying the limitless drug is real and it's called 60 milligrams of instant release Adderall.
Amazing.
So he's calling Chris out for drug abuse.
Drug abuse at this Critter Clash event. Cool.
Well, young man, amphetamines couldn't save Hitler, and they can't save you either.
Whoa.
On April 15th, if I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans.
Okay.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
this video then resulted in this video, a little update to the situation there, and then we'll talk about it.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Froggy Fresh. I going on to my Twitter today. What done I see? Anissa's mom is saying, hoping that somebody replaces that imp.
Okay, so these are the tweets in question here. This is Anissa's mom. This is real, by the way.
Yeah,
this is actually real.
The Pied Piper.
The
That's
Pied
his mom.
Piper. Hope it's about replacing the imp. He wouldn't have the fight if not for her. That's why, numbnuts. So, Idubbbz' mom jumps in here to demand that FroggyFresh get thrown out of the card for disrespecting Anissa.
Now I go into Google to see what imp was, and they said it's a small devil. Now, I got saved by the Lord and baptized when I was about 7, so I don't know what she's talking about. But I can tell you this is a charity event. So if Anissa's mom is going to be coming up in here talking garbage about me when she don't know a darn thing about me, I don't appreciate it. We're trying to raise money for charity. If someone can come get her and take her home, give her a coat and take her home.
Oh my.
'Cause
Holy
I'm just
shit.
trying to raise money. Thank you.
So it's all for charity, and that's his point, right? You know, he's being provocative and saying all kinds of crazy stuff about Hitler, Idubbbz' wife, but it's for charity because, you know, it's to drum up attention for the fight, which, to be honest, is a major criticism people have for influencer boxing.
Right.
The problem with influencer boxing is that the two creators that get put up in these fights, they don't really hate each other. They're not really into even boxing. So it's like, why are these people here? To collect the check at the end?
Right.
Like, the audience can see through that. They can see when a boxing match is soulless and just a money-making venture, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is, but the spirit that FroggyFresh is trying to add to influencer boxing
Yeah.
is
that-
a little
the
bit
clash. He's
of
adding the clash.
entertainment. Yeah, exactly. So you can say like, oh, well, he shouldn't be poking the hornet's nest of the people putting him on this card. But it's also, he's right in saying that it is a charity event. So what? Like, sacrifice your feelings for just a second and raise some money and put on a show like you
Yeah.
used to, Idubbbz, you know, like Content Cop.
It's not that big of a deal. I
It's
know
not
this
that
is
serious.
Yeah.
Well, he said he would subscribe to her OnlyFans. Really? That's the joke. The joke is that she's on OnlyFans. Like, is that really that offensive?
Yeah, I guess because he's like, I will be so disappointed in myself. I'll do this. It's
Yeah.
like, but still, it's not even that big of a deal.
If you're on OnlyFans, like you become like, it's like if people mention that, is that offensive? Like
Yeah.
that's your thing now.
Right.
But it goes on, man. It just goes on. You know, so first of all, Idubbbz' mother-in-law, smartly, I will say, deleted her Twitter account. Probably a good idea.
Right.
Then Anissa blocked Keemstar for covering it, which, you know, who could have seen this coming?
Right.
And then it goes on, actually. We found another tweet here. Now, FroggyFresh's response is, I'll play it out.
You have got to clean up your language. That is not good to be talking like that.
And if you're wondering what the language is, the Pied Piper, Anissa's real mom, wrote this and said, classic case of brain damage. Better have that looked at along with your obviously shrunken balls.
Oh my God.
Damn. So you can see here, and this is her real account, by the way. Like, this is like legitimate. Unfortunately, we don't have a recent archive of it, but there are previous archives that do exist. And, you know, they're literally trying to shut down this whole fight over hurt feelings. Hey guys, so while I was editing this video, the Critter Clash Twitter account tweeted out clarifying that yes, FroggyFresh's fight has been canceled. Now, while it's still unclear why the fight's been canceled, we go into our own speculation here in just a moment. But yes, this is absolutely crazy. And as I tweeted out on my Twitter account, Idubbbz has definitely reached a new low with this one by canceling the fight over hurt feelings. Seriously? You're gonna let your feelings get in the way of a charity boxing fight? Seriously, Idubbbz? I know he's been sensitive for a couple years now, but this is totally different. It's also worth mentioning that he's canceling the dude's fight 3 weeks out from the event. 3 weeks. Ruining this guy's fight, wasting his training. I mean, this is fucked. Anyway, here's my speculation as to why Idubbbz really canceled the fight, because it might actually not be related to the OnlyFans joke specifically. FroggyFresh is training with Idubbbz' mortal enemy, Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy shows up in all of Idubbbz' worst nightmares. Somehow he always gets involved with whatever Idubbbz is doing. FroggyFresh is just training with Sam Hyde. They're not even really being that provocative about it. I mean, he made this video talking about the training, process. We can just play a little bit of it, I guess.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I just got back from Providence today. I went to go train with Sam Hyde for my boxing match in April for Creator Clash 2 against ChrisRayGun on April 15th. It was extremely fun. It's probably one of the biggest memories of my life. If you don't know who Sam Hyde is, he's, whether or not you love him or hate him, you have to recognize him as he's the most talented comedian alive.
No.
He's the most talented comedian
Absolutely
alive.
not.
Right?
Yeah, Idubbbz is hearing this like, because he wanted to be Sam Hyde for a while. Let's just be honest. He wanted to rise up to that level, and he was on a pretty good track to get there.
Yeah, but really, he could never actually do that.
No.
And he was obviously fake. So.
He's gonna probably be the greatest comedian of all time. Anyways, it's I just got a lot of, as a comedian, and he's insanely, he's a genius. I got a chance to go out there and train with him. He welcomed me into his environment. He paid people to train me. He said, "Do you do protein shakes?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, why not?" And he pulled an $80 tub of protein shake brand new out for me, because that's the way he is.
What a king.
He's a good dude. And I think that I'm gonna make the camp over there super proud on April 15th. I'm thankful for everything, and I hope one day I get a chance to work with him again.
He's gonna
Wow.
he's gonna make Sam Hyde proud. How do you think
That's-
Idubbbz feels about that?
Yeah, but I was expecting there to be like some jab at Ian or something, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know why it's such a big deal that Sam Hyde is training this guy, well, last year Sam Hyde trained another person in Critter Clash, Harvey Morenstein, aka Epic Mealtime. And when Idubbbz found this out, he was not too pleased about it. In fact, Sam Hyde was supposed to be there in the crowd, in the front row, cheering on Epic Mealtime, but this never happened. And the reason why is because, according to Sam Hyde, to clarify, I bought 5 front row tickets and found out a few hours before the event that I was banned. So I'm out about $11.5 thousand because the tickets were like $2,000 for the front row seats.
Yeah.
Also, security was walking around with pictures of my face and bothering some people about wearing my shirts, and the cameramen were told to avoid entire sections of the crowd rocking my shiz, his merch.
Really?
So the cameras had to avoid panning over to Sam Hyde fans in the crowd. Do you know how insane this is?
That's just pathetic.
This is retarded.
Yeah.
And then it continues, I'd still train Idubbbz for the revenge match if he apologized. Mercy and Grace high on the list nowadays. Just got to ditch Yoko Ono dissing Anissa.
Yeah.
So brutal. And there was some question as to whether or not he was allowed, a refund. Well, according to the Critter Clash account, which, aka Anissa, let's just be honest here, she obviously runs the account.
She typed this up, yeah.
Look at the emojis. It was, But, she did clarify that, yes, refunds take 4 to 6 days to process. He will get his money back. But somebody asked, like, okay, so at least you're confirming, yes, that he was banned from Critter Clash, but, like, why? Like, what's the reason? Is it because Ann was getting clowned on? Because they have personal beef? What's the deal here?
Yeah.
And Critter Clash, the account responded by completely ignoring the question and just talking about refunds again.
Yeah, so they're just totally coping.
Yeah,
They're
like,
ignoring him completely.
Completely ignoring him.
Yeah.
So that's the situation we have here. It's possible that the FroggyFresh fight may still go on because technically he hasn't been officially canceled yet, but all the signs are pointing to this completely falling apart. And I mean, let's just be honest. Idubbbz clearly has stated that he wants to be nowhere around Sam Hyde. So the fact that this guy is, training with Sam Hyde, which should totally be allowed. Why is that a problem?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I don't even think Sam Hyde's coming to represent him in any way.
No.
That was the thing with Epic Mealtime, is Sam Hyde was like his official trainer. Like he was like, I'm going to pull up to.
Oh, I
the
should
thing.
mention also, Epic Mealtime wasn't allowed to include like footage of Sam Hyde in his training montage because all the fighters were supposed to have a training montage before they go out onto the stage. And his montage, all the scenes with Sam Hyde training him had to be cut out, which just shows how ridiculous the micromanaging at Critter Clash is. Like, again, the event itself was very solidly ran. It was a good, entertaining event, but the behind the scenes, the micromanaging, I mean, they obviously fucked Sam Hyde over and his crew. They didn't even let his crew stay there.
Yeah, well, see, that micromanaging is not what made the event good, too, just to make that clear, because it's like the event would have been good regardless of that.
Right.
So they're
No, the event was good because it was just entertaining, and also
Yeah.
the fighters, I expected it to be a joke because I didn't think the fighters really, would put on like a decent fights. But
Yeah.
a lot of the fights on the card, you can watch the full stream on Idubbbz' channel. There were some decently matched fights because that was the main thing that I expected to be like the problem, which was the mismatching of the fights.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think they were going to match people very well, but they actually did a decent job at that.
Right.
So I got to give them credit there. But everything else was just disgraceful.
No. And also, I highly doubt now, going back to FroggyFresh, that he's going to be allowed onto the card just because I can't see Anissa like blowing this off. Like, right now she's talking to Idubbbz.
Emotions are way
She's
too high.
grabbed him by the balls. It's like, we need to get this guy off of here. And there's no way she's going to back down. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So
No.
I feel like he's going to be gone. If he still plays after making jokes about her OnlyFans, did he make jokes about her mom? I guess just addressing her mom and then making like training with Sam Hyde. If he's still on, then okay, but I doubt it'll happen.
Yeah, fair enough if they can just, set aside their feelings for like 2 seconds and continue this, match, because I would like to see this. But
Right.
I want to see this now more than ever before.
Right.
Like the marketing that he's done for this FroggyFresh is genius because now I'm interested.
Yeah.
Now I'm aware of the fight. I know what's happening and I want to see it.
I didn't even know ChrisRayGun was fighting him until we literally were just researching this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, ChrisRayGun's fighting? What? How did that happen?
Exactly. And you know why you didn't know that? It's because similarly to last year, one of the problems with Critter Clash was the lack of marketing. Nobody expected this event to be good because nobody even really knew anything about the event because it wasn't marketed at all.
No one cared.
And again, this year, the marketing has also been lackluster. So nobody knows what's going on. Now people are aware and interested, potentially, probably, but it's not going to happen anymore. So it's like, okay.
Cool. Thanks, guys.